about it. Time to show the world who we are. From the earth to the sea, we'll take a gamble. There's a new one who'll sing a legend now for us. Bunch it, no limit. Up to what we call one beat. Battle has a point if you believe that. Reaching for the dream till the end of time. Working on keys of time. Or moving on in front of you. Going march along to every single beat. The world will change again with you. Hearts to us, hearts to all of us.
Dear friends, times were changing on the Northwestern Railway. Railway construction was going on, and Donald and Douglas had to take a temporary leave to help with such. Our Sir Topham Hatt knew his engines on the main line needed help, so he started making other arrangements. However, the engine that was brought seemed to be a radical departure from the norm. Sincerely, the author. Short end of the stick. Sir Topham Hatt's railway was undergoing severe maintenance. It was no surprise to anyone. The track beds had been crumbling more and more as the days progressed, and Sir Topham Hatt had quite frankly heard enough from Gordon, Henry, and James. As such, new track beds began to be laid, and for a while, Donald and Douglas had been tasked to assist in the operation. Their absence, however, put a strain on the workload of the other engines. One evening, James crawled into the shed, exhausted. Having to cover for one twin's already bad, but both of them, he panted wearily. I'm not sure how much longer I can keep this up. Sorry, Donald grinned cheekily. Important work, you know. All that ballast for your rails. Aye, we're only helping keep you on track, Douglas added. Humph, James pouted. We're all taking on a little bit of their work, James. It's not just you, sniffed Henry. I'm taking on the majority, Henry, James snapped. I'm getting the short end of the stick again. Oh, lighten up. It can't be that bad. Yes, Doc, it can be that bad. But the more James complained, the less sympathy he received. He eventually fumed himself to sleep. The next morning, rain had come. James arrived in the yards to collect his goods. Once it had been made up, Donald's trucks were added behind it. As he was shunting, he began to feel a little odd. No point in mentioning it, he grumbled to himself, remembering the night before. Before long, his unusually long train was ready. His fireman was building up steam when the yard foreman came hurrying over. Oko's been trapped in a siding due to faulty points, he called. Could you take Douglas's train as well? It's waiting farther up the line.
Huh, no,
James scoffed. What do you mean, no? The foreman rumbled.
you can't be serious.
Fussed the red engine.
I'll never manage 3 chains on me own.
Sorry, James, sighed his driver. You know we all have to pitch in while the twins are away.
This pitching's leaving me pinched.
James huffed as he begrudgingly snorted away. James heaved his train along the line, his cheeks as bright as his paintwork, his puffing becoming hoarser, and his train heavier. The engines who saw him couldn't help but crack a gun at him passing by. Short end of the stick, he groaned. The odd feeling inside him was growing steadily now, but he paid it no mind.
Smash it up!
He rapped, bumping his trucks roughly. The trucks did not care for that at all.
There's more of us than him. Pay him back.
Easy, James, his driver called. They soon approached Henry's tunnel. James was now panting and wheezing, his wheels beginning to slip on the damp rails. Yelled the lead truck. James felt the coupling between his train draw tight as the trucks held back and giggled foolishly amongst themselves.
Oh, there's not enough steam,
cried his fireman.
I can do it.
James wheezed.
I can do it.
With a tremendous gasp of escaping steam, James burst from the far end of the tunnel and grew to a groaning halt on the main line. His driver and fireman climbed down at once to inspect the damage, whilst the guard hurried away to telephone the signalman. "Oh, you sprung a leak," explained his fireman. "You should have spoken up if you couldn't handle the load, James." James hadn't the steam left to reply. He merely stared sadly at his buffers. It took some time, but Edward eventually arrived to rescue him.
Oh, such a thing can happen to any engine. Sir Topham Hatt has arranged for someone else to collect your train. We'd best get you to the works.
That night, the engines discussed the situation in the shed. "Poor James," Duck sighed. "In fairness," Henry mused, "he is inclined to be rather dramatic. The last time he claimed to be overworked was when the Express gained 3 extra coaches. Not to mention he stalled on the hill again," Gordon groaned. "All the same, the work has become a bit much for us engines. The twins are a really important part of mainline service, and without either of them here to help us, it's, Oh, suddenly, a shrill whistle interrupted Boko. The engines looked towards the distance, and through the lamplights, a sturdy engine rolled towards them. Its puffs were deep and smooth, and its dark olive paint glistened in the moonlight. It came to a halt in front of the turntable. So Topham Hatt stepped down from the engine's cab and addressed the bewildered engines. "Despite what some of you may think," he began, "I am well aware of the pressure some of you are under. And with James's recent mishap, it's become more apparent than ever." He paused, impressively. This is Cassius, he announced, turning to the large engine. I've managed to pull a few strings with the other railway and have arranged to have him work here until Donald and Douglas return. Please show him our famous soda hospitality. Good evening, engines. And Sir Topham Hatt strolled away.
Hello, chirped Duck. We appreciate you coming here to help us in such short notice.
No worries, the engine murmured laconically. He then noticed Boko sitting at the far end of the shed and beamed. Oh, why hello. You must be Boko. Oh, however glad it is to meet you. Boko was taken aback, as were the other engines. I've heard all about you. You work with those sorry little yellow engines, don't you? Oh, what they did to you on your first day. Simply unbecoming. Boko chuckled good-naturedly. Well, they certainly are mischievous. However, they are some of the most hard-working engines I know. I find that hard to believe, Gordon exclaimed, as those little demons try to... It's such a shame about your class, Cassius interrupted through a sigh. If only the other railway were as patient as Sir Topham Hatt with your design flaws and all. He soon drew alongside Boko, and the two fell into easy conversation about the mischievous twins and the diesels of the other railway. The other engines listened for a while, unsure of what to make of the visitor, though, at last, they decided it was best to leave things until morning, and went to sleep. Cassius and Boko talked for a while more before falling asleep. Cassius smiled to himself, and looked at the green diesel. He then looked at the other engines, and his smile slowly fell. You can't help but pity them, Cassius murmured to himself. It won't be long until they all have to be gone, just like the rest. No matter, it's only for a few weeks, he whispered. He looked at Boko again, and murmured quietly, I'll be back home with real engines soon.